Welcome back, and welcome to those of you that are new to the channel. Gonna do another pickups video here. I know I just did one a month ago, but I bought enough stuff to where I can do another decent sized video for you guys. So we'll get into what I got. We'll start with the games, music on CD and vinyl, pickups as well. So we'll start with the first game, Donkey Kong Land, and I did have this on the 3DS. Unfortunately deleted the game and did not re-download it. Excuse me. So picked this up so I could play it on Analog Pocket. DuckTales, another one I didn't have. Had a chance to buy it on NES, actually for a really decent price about a year ago, and just did not bite because I have the game on flash card. But yeah, this is an excellent port of the NES game. Love it to death. And the remaster is still available on Steam, apparently, and I vouch for that myself. But yeah, this game, just great. And I'll show the manuals at the end after I show all these games. Excuse me one moment. Burger Time, another great port. Which, funny enough, this is also on the Switch, on the Switch Online service. Of course, you know, I had the arcade game. Then there's I think there's the Atari 2600 version. This is pretty darn good, but for some reason, this is just easier for me to get through the levels on this cartridge and playing on the Analog Pocket rather on the Switch Online service version. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's the controls, but otherwise, excellent port of the original Burger Time. Adventure Island, I really scoured the internet to find this, or eBay to find this for a good price. Great side-scrolling game. First played it on my Anbernic, what is it, 365V or whatever. I really liked it, and that's really what got me into buying some more of these, partly what got me into buying more Game Boy games. We'll be called out of the boxes, but with prices rising to ridiculous levels, just can't do it. So, but yeah, this is just an excellent game. Adventure Island 2, once again, you know, had to really find the best looking copy for a decent price, you know, with the best looking label, and not paying an arm and a leg for it. Again, great game, a whole lot of fun. I just wish these games had saves on them. You just can't originally save with these games, you know, on the systems. And then all these came with official cases. I think they're all official. Yeah. So there's the Nintendo logo. There are knockoffs of these different colors, and they're not branded, and they're pretty crap. I learned that when buying a Game Boy Advance game. Here's the Burger Time Deluxe manual. We'll just go through it really quickly. It's just crappy screenshots and some sparse art. Great artwork though, really like it. And the arcade game I don't have, but I will be getting it on the buying on the Switch. DuckTales manual. Mainly bought these for the art, and I know that some of them just aren't full color like the NES manuals or Super Nintendo manuals are, but that's totally fine. I can live with that. And you have some advertisements in here for some other great Capcom and Disney games. Thought I showed this Donkey Kong Land one before, maybe not. I believe this is just leftover Donkey Kong Country art, and they just use that. Nonetheless, it's great. I mean, gotta love it. Now that I'm making more money, I can afford these pickups. Finally, not breaking the bank and, you know, overcharging on my credit cards. Finally, after all these years. But yeah, great. Just fantastic artwork with those. Alright, moving onward. We have, I don't know if I showed this before, but anyways, Puzzle Fighter Super Puzzle Fighter Turbo on the PlayStation. And I've really been eyeballing to get, what is it, Marvel vs. Capcom for the PlayStation. It's very expensive, and I have other ways to play it. But it would be nice to play on a big screen TV rather than the Anbernic small Game Boy type screen. It is a very crisp screen. I like it. I don't know if I've shown it yet, but here it is. Nice sturdy plastic. I don't know if I did or not, but we'll just do that now. So, got the back buttons here. I may have done it, but whatever. Analog sticks, which are in the style of the Switch. They may have used the exact same parts. Directional pad and buttons. This thing feels, hefty. The plastic doesn't feel cheap. You got one built-in speaker that actually sounds pretty good, and the games are built into a no-name SD card, which I'm gonna have to replace because it's just not working. Didn't want to work much for me today. I'm trying to have a gaming session with it, but yeah, having a lot of fun with that. Hours and hours of fun. Here we have, and I actually had ordered something else, but they sent me this. That's fine though. Aerosmith, Get a Grip, released in 1993 originally. Great songs on here. You have Living on the Edge, Crying, Crazy, Line Up, which Line Up song was in Ace Ventura. What an excellent record. Sticking with 90s. Let's go to Tiny Music by Stone Temple Pilots. Songs from the Vatican Gift Shop. Great. I love the theme of this. This was recently remastered. Didn't go for that. But I probably should have, because it actually sounds pretty good. So I went with an original. But love the beach ball image on the CD, and then the pool there. And I think this folds out into one huge poster. So I'll just kind of show half of it. What's the hit song on here? I can't. Big Bang Baby. That's one. Lady Picture Show. Tripping on a Hole in a Paper Heart. That's another great one. I remember looking at this years ago when it first, or when it was newer, I should say, not when it first came out. But yeah, great image there. Not sure who the lady is. An original 1992 edition of Alice in Chains Dirt on CD, and actually looking at the CD, it looks identical, pretty much identical to the one, to the remaster, which just is really loud, and this has great dynamics. And you can, the other way to tell is there's this sticker here. The remaster has a black sticker with orange text, and this is the complete opposite of that with this hype sticker. But yeah, it sounds great compared to the remaster on CD, put out in like 2000, I guess. I don't know exactly when, but the remaster on vinyl, this newest one that came out this year or last year, so 2023 or 2022, sounds fantastic. I kind of bought this in place of that. I might eventually pick that up, I don't know, because I love this album. A 1980s copy of Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon. Had to absolutely have this one. It's Harvest edition. Sounds just fantastic. Pink Floyd's most well-known album, and everyone knows the tracks. If you don't, check them out. Another early edition of Pink Floyd album on CD. Wish You Were Here. BMG edition or something like that. Now made in the USA. I thought this was a Harvest edition. They said it was. But surprisingly, then you get the track listing on there. Great stuff. Surprisingly, the CD here is very, very thin, but it sounds fantastic. Just absolutely fantastic. It's just great. Whoever mastered it did a really, really, really good job. And I've been eyeballing this for years, and I said that in my Wish You Were Here album collection video previously. I finally got it for a pretty decent price, actually. I mean, I could have got it for a lower price. I found that out right after I received this, but that's fine. Again, just well worth it. Fleetwood Mac Greatest Hits has all the hits on here. I think it's the 80s, 89 copy, I think, of Horace Silver's Song for My Father. And I've been looking to get this for a long time. Could tell it's an early Blue Note CD since it's silver and blue. The new ones are white and blue. But yeah, just great stuff there. David Bowie, self-titled, and there is a deluxe edition of this with extra tracks. Someone had mentioned that. Uncle Arthur, that's one of the songs I know of. I don't really know much about these. I haven't listened to them in a long time. But the extra tracks and songs that are off singles are included in the deluxe edition of this. And I was looking into getting that back when it first released. When I was really starting to get into David Bowie's music. I'd always heard it over the years, but yeah, 1967. So this is a 1983 Durham edition, or Decca. I don't think there's much in the way of photos. We'll look though. Actually, there is. So there's that. Moving onward, we still have quite a bit to look at. Steve Miller Band's Greatest Hits. I'm going to take that sticker off there. Just all great songs that I've heard over the years. And I actually have two versions of the Greatest Hits of Steve Miller and a Best Of, which covers everything. I mean, this covers a lot of good stuff, but yeah. Yet another copy of Alice in Chains, self-titled. The purple on bright yellow, and then the purple disc. Got it because it was in a lot with that Dirt CD. Had to get it. It was just inevitable, but that's fine, you know. And I have like 4 CDs of that. Queens of the Stone Age, self-titled. Been looking to get this one for a long time. When the remaster came out, I think I'd heard some tracks off it before then, back when YouTube was fairly new, and just didn't get that, and got these from the same seller, I want to say. Oh, I can't show that. I gotta cover that up. But yeah, this is pretty nicked up, but it still plays well, which is surprising. Regular John is one of the hit songs off here that I know of. But yeah, great CD. Queens of the Stone Age, Songs for the Deaf. This is the album that made me aware of the band, you know, when they had the 2 hit singles off this album. A couple of videos that got on MTV and that are now on YouTube, of course. All these are just banging hits. I want to say Mark Lanigan sang on this. I think that's his picture there on the far right. And Dave Grohl, of course, which you can see there on the left side. Yeah, fantastic record. It's also on vinyl. Both these albums are. But yeah, this one, I like it, and I'll probably get their. I think it was. This is another album that's really good. And I'll pick that up, obviously from a different seller because these are pretty nicked up, and I was lucky they played uh, all the songs that I like, and there's no issues with them surprisingly. So yeah, that's all that, and we'll get into the vinyl records. So we'll start off with the. Let me rearrange these. First two records I bought here at home. The first few. Hang on, I gotta get everything over here. Grab everything. So I couldn't fit it all over here. But so here we have Stanley Turrentine, Mr. Natural, Tone Poet. Still haven't opened it, but I did listen to some MP3s of the tracks and really liked what I heard. There's a whole bunch more Tone Poets that have come out. While I get them, I really don't know because I'm running out of room within this room. So yeah, another jazz one. Chet Baker. Chet, put out by Craft Recordings, originally released in 1959. I think this one's from this year, no, 2019. But it sounds just fantastic, and it was mastered by Kevin Gray. Great open sound stage here. I just need to clean my copy. I think that's all it needs. Other than that, it's great. There's also a new Record Store Day edition that came out, I think, or someone said it did. They're charging an exuberant amount of money for it, and I don't know if that's even true because it looks exactly like this. So I don't see why they would re-release this album again and have it look exactly the same. That to me just makes no damn sense. Some more records I bought here in Texas. And I'm saying that for a reason. You guys will find out why. Al Jolson, the world's greatest entertainer. There's some of the songs there, and I have another Al Jolson record, like his best of or greatest hits or something. It came out way back when. There's nothing new coming out of his that I know of. Put out by Decca. I haven't played this one yet. I think this one's actually intact. It's just dirty, really. I don't see any one major scratch, but even though I'm making more money, I'll still get things at a really good low price if I can. If it's something I don't care much about, like this, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and A Fistful of Dollars, and for a few dollars more, selections from these music tracks from these movies. Conducted by Hugo Montenegro and his orchestra, and I have seen other copies of this album after buying this in much better condition, inside and out. Saw one in California, didn't get it. Saw two here at my local family-owned record shop, didn't get it. These are just covers of these songs. It's done pretty well. Very interesting, I think. Just something to put on in the background while you're cleaning house or mowing the lawn or doing whatever. Not something I would sit down and like really intently listen to. Now here's the original motion picture soundtrack of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Music by Ennio Morricone. There's, like I said in my Good, the Bad, and the Ugly album collection video, there are remasters of this that have come out over the years. There's different CD copies. There's a deluxe CD copy with unreleased tracks that just didn't make it to the film. This is an excellent disc. I've shown it before. There's that. I guess I'll show it again. Why not? There's the United Artists label. And I have a few more to show. Yeah, we'll sit down for last. Yeah. Went to several record stores in California and just found these two things. Really, I could have bought more, but decided not to because some of this stuff, all of it, I can listen to on here on YouTube through my nice, JBL soundbar and subwoofer. But Lightning Hopkins Soul Blues. It's a 1972 Prestige copy. Did not buy this at Tower Records. And the blue on this is baby blue. It's not a darker blue. The darker blue is the original color of the banner. I don't know why it's showing up as a darker blue, but that's even darker on the Analog Productions remaster of this. And this is still in the shrink. Not sure if that's original shrink or someone reshrinked it. But yeah, 1972 copy. Funny thing about this album, the master tapes are lost. The master tapes for this album were actually lost 5 years after it was released. So what they did was they just used, I don't know, a needle drop for these subsequent copies, and a needle drop is used, a separate one, needle drop is used for the Analog Productions remaster of this, which is still on sale, by the way, or still in stock. So I'm really contemplating buying the CD of this. It's a great blues album, sounds fantastic. I've only heard digital versions of it, so that's really the only thing I'm going off of. But this one is very interesting. It comes with this Fantasy Inc. Special sleeve here, which it says all the different labels that Fantasy owns. They own the Fantasy label, Good Time Jazz, Prestige, Pablo, Milestone, which this is a Milestone edition, Riverside, and this was released in 1987. The sleeve, I guess, which is interesting. Here, I'll show that again. Quick. This is printed in Canada. So I thought I would just keep this. This is substantial enough for me. It's pretty flat. Doesn't seem warped. So I haven't had time to play this one. But yeah, maybe I'll get the Analog Productions remaster to compare it to that. If it turns out I just don't like this, or there's something wrong with it. But either way, I'll keep it just for prosperity. I was very glad to get this, and I almost didn't buy it. I thought, I don't need this, but was just very glad to pick it up. It's an iconic historical album. Catalog number PR 7377. Be putting a information card with this. But yeah. So moving on, we don't want to make this video too long for you guys. So we have Spider-Man 3 picture disc, and there was 3 different sets of these at one of the 4 record stores we went to in California on our vacation. And me and my dad picked out just the best ones, I think. So there's that and that. Here is the back. Really, the only artist I know on here is The Killers, Snow Patrol, and who is it? I know the Outlaws and the Flaming Lips. I have not listened to this. It's probably not going to be listened to. I don't know though. But yeah, there we go. I think that's it. Anything else I pick up, which I do have a couple things on pre-order, or one thing on pre-order. I'm sorry, 2 things on pre-order, a game and a vinyl record. So when I get those, I'll probably just show those in October, since that's the month of my birthday. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching and subscribing.